Hey guys, it's a song or story a day, or a story or song a day. I actually don't know the name of my own channel, but it's definitely one of those. I wanted to wrap up some things from last time, and one of the things that I forgot to mention is I wanted to talk about the channel icon because that's very important to me. I made it in MS Paint, as you can probably tell. It's not the most fancy thing by any means, but I kind of wanted to talk about my thought process into making it because I'm quite proud of it personally, even if it's not the most amazing looking thing out there. Um, I like the fact that it has the two S's that are shared. Like the how it's like song and or story and then song and in that direction. I don't know. I like that because I wanted it to express that the same S is used because it's either a song or a story, and it just depends on which way I'm headed that day. So I like that, and there's a nice like little book that I've illustrated, and those nice music notes that I use the shapes in the MS Paint function. Anyways, my point is, there's also a yellow, like a happy yellow happy face, like a yellow happy face at the bottom of the right, because I think anything you do should sort of, you should put a bit of joy into it. Put a bit of like a you should always be a bit happy. Put happy things and things. Anyways, what's happier than a bright yellow happy face? And I think that's something important to me. I chose pink as the background because again it's kind of like a friendly, neutral color. It's nice, and then soft and warm. And then in the little holes, which used to be white, because I use the MS like paint fill function, and then it leaves all the white spots, right? And I decided to just kind of fill that with different rainbow-ish colors that I thought would look nice. And it's resulted in the icon that I have, which, like I said, might not be the most impressive artistic piece of work, but I'm pretty fond of it myself. Now, moving on from that, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is a whiteboard. I don't have, you can't see it, it's not up. I have a whiteboard. My brother bought a whiteboard for me very many years ago, and I never really did use it. And I thought this is the perfect opportunity to use it. The problem is I just don't I don't have it set up quite yet. I don't know what I'm going to be using it for. I'm sure I'll think of something, if not just to just to make use of the whiteboard, and then I'm sure my brother will be plenty pleased that I'm using this thing that he's bought me finally. And yeah, I mean that's the sort of thing I wanted to wrap up last times with, and I forgot, and so I'm doing it today. So on to today. Um, it's a bit late in the night. I had a long day, but I absolutely needed to get this done, and here I am. All right, and I was deciding between story and a song, and I think a part of me wanted to do a song, but I just felt like, am I going to be able to do one? It's so late. Um, and there's a kind of pressure to. I've never really written songs, not seriously. I mean, not that this is going to be the most serious thing in the world, but my point is there was a bit of tension in terms of I wasn't too sure if I'd be able to write a song. It's been a long day. I'm tired. It's late, um, and so I felt like I was just going to make that decision. So instead, I asked my sister-in-law. Uh, she was over visiting, and I asked her, "Hey, what do you think I should do today? Should I write a story or should I write a song?" And she made the very helpful decision of choosing the song. My mistake was asking her clearly. So that's what I did. Um, Normally, what I would have wanted to do is sort of do it, I guess, live, if that makes any sense. But the problem, and I sort of addressed that in the first video, is the problem with doing it live is it can probably be a bit long. I spent maybe about 40 or 50 minutes writing this, and I mean, it wasn't all the way through, but obviously too long for one video. And I'm thinking of, having a version where maybe you do get to see that process. But I mean, I don't know. I have no idea if that's something that would work well or if it would look good. So instead, what I'm going to do is sort of walk you through what, what I was doing, what I was thinking. And then I'll play the sort of completed and sing, embarrassingly. I'll sing the completed the finished version as well. Um, what I normally do when I'm thinking of writing a song is I don't really think about like the lyrics or the music. I sort of just think about like an idea, like how am I feeling today, right? Like what's something that is meaningful for me or something that I'm feeling that resonates with me. And then I eventually, I just think about that. And I think and I sort of really reflect on myself, I guess, if that sort of makes sense. Um, and then from that, I'm not going to say music just starts flowing out. I mean, quite the opposite. But usually I can hear, I can imagine a sound, um, or notes, music notes in this case. I imagine music notes, and then it kind of helps me express that feeling in a way. Um, well, I guess to sort of go over the process. I mean, today, um, I'm feeling good overall. I had a good day, but not everything is perfect, and sometimes, there are things that can get you down, right? And that's okay. I think music is a good way to deal with that. I think being able to appreciate, maybe not the greatest of days is a good way of dealing with it. Or even if you've had a good day and, you're wondering, is every day going to be as good as this? Or you're just hoping for, the days to come. Um, so the notes that I heard in my head initially were sort of something like this. I hope that's audible. I haven't actually tested this because I'm obviously not very. Well, my point is, if you can't hear this at all, I'll have to make a new video. But hopefully you can hear this. Um, it's sort of an odd set of notes, I think. I've never really heard of it before. I mean, maybe I have, but um, it feels. The way that I sort of felt when I was hearing these notes is I was like, there's a certain a certain longing, a certain melancholy, a certain amount of um, maybe unknown. It jumps from the. Well, I do read music, and so I'll use music notes for the benefit of it. But it jumps from sort of this middle C up to this high B flat, and then it goes down. I don't know. This sudden rise into a gradual fall, and there's just something a little bit. I don't know. For me, it just kind of feels vulnerable. There's something I don't know. I don't know what it is. But that was what was going on in my head, and I was thinking about what I meant by that. What does that express for me? And so the lyrics, I was coming up with the lyrics sort of at the same time as I'm coming up with the notes, right? And the notes, like I said, they made me feel that certain way. I was sort of feeling that certain way already, and the lyrics that just made sense to me right away. This came up almost immediately. Is in conjunction with those notes. It was the lyrics, "The Setting Sun," and you'll hear what it sounds like at the end, but the setting sun. I wanted to convey this sense of the day's ending. It's the sun is definitely set by now where I'm at, but the feeling of the setting sun. I feel like the feeling of these notes, the feeling you get when you talk about the setting sun, especially in a semi-artistic way like you would in music. It's kind of. The day's ending. Whatever it is ending. Good or bad. And that, for me, the next sort of few lyrics flowed from that, right? I wrote the setting sun, every day ends, and the notes I kind of just had it as, it's kind of goes like this. So, and then every day ends. And then I sort of just continued with that theme of sort of the ending day and what I wanted that to represent, especially with how I was feeling. And then sort of the next lyrics go, "The dawn comes round the bend," and I had to play like this. And again, just the reason those notes came about and the reason the lyrics came about. Well, I'll say that the notes came about is because I sort of wanted to express something that sort of sounds like it's coming around the bend, you know, like the dawn comes around the bend and it's sort of like circling around these three notes, like it makes like a bend, if that makes any sense, like a U shape in a sense. But anyways, um, the lyrics, the dawn comes around the bend. Um, I sort of wrote the next part sort of together without thinking much of the music, and so perhaps I should say the lyrics first. So it starts with the setting sun, every day ends, the dawn comes around the bend, and then what I was really thinking of when I was writing this is, you know, just like I said, the ending of something, the continuing of another, like going into another day. Um, but why was I thinking that, you know? And like I said, I was feeling a little bit melancholic. The day was good, but you know, sometimes you still have sad thoughts, you know, or there are other sad things going on. And I was thinking, you know, it, bad days or good days, they don't last forever, right? The next lyrics go, no rain comes down forever, or bright skies in your eyes. Every day fades tomorrow. Um, I mean, that's, I guess, in line with what I was feeling, you know? Not every day is, not every bad day is going to go forever. Rain stops eventually. And, you know, even the bright skies, even when it's a clear sunny day and you're having an amazing time, you know, that too, eventually, it has to end. You know, you go to sleep or, you know, crawl into bed in the middle of the night, which is where I should be quite soon, but not just yet. Um, and the music that I kind of wrote, I was trying to figure out, you know, how would that fit and how what it would sound like. And over, like I said, it took me like 30, 40 minutes to sort of figure out what I wanted it to sound like. And so what I had, or what I have, is sort of something like this for that part. So it's from the beginning, you know, it's. Now I know this doesn't make much sense without the lyrics yet, but I'm saving that for last. Both because, I mean, honestly, it's a little bit nerve-wracking having to sing, especially where, you know, there's going to be an audience. I've never been much of a public singer myself, so don't expect anything amazing. But I will play it at the end. I just let me finish this thought. I promise. Um, After that, I was sort of thinking, well, how do I want to end the song? You know, like what do I want it to sort of show at the end? You know, what do I want it to look like when it's completed? Um, and I want it to be a positive note, you know, because I mean, obviously, it's supposed to be a positive song, even if it sounds a bit sad. Um, but I mean, interestingly enough, maybe the ending came to me pretty quickly because I already knew what I wanted it to look like. I knew where I wanted it to go. And so the lyrics are, so let it be, and put your hopes into tomorrow. Um, because you can't stay in the moment forever. You know, doesn't matter if it's like a good one, doesn't matter if it's a bad one. I mean, especially if it's a bad one, it's not one you want to stay in forever. You may have noticed me scratching my eye a few times. It's because it's quite itchy because my hair is in my face. And you could say, well, why don't you just move the hair out of your face? But I like how I look with the hair in my face. Anyways, this is completely besides the point. Um, the point is with that ending. So let it be, put your hopes into tomorrow. That is definitely, I felt like that was the right feeling, you know, and it made me sort of feel, I mean, it made me feel pretty good. It made me feel like whatever I was feeling, it's good to feel that. It's okay to feel that. It's human to feel that. And then after that, you know, after you've been in that moment, you move on to the next day, right? And that should be a happy thing. And so um, I guess maybe this is in part because I do have a bit of a background in music, and maybe in part because, I mean, it just sounds good to me. So I wanted it to sort of finish on the what's known as the dominant key or the dominant note. Maybe it's not called that. I don't actually know actually. But anyways, it sounds like this. So it goes up. that's how it ends. Okay, now's the part where I play all of it, including the singing. And I'm looking at the time now, and it's already been an almost 20-minute video, so I apologize. It's maybe a little bit long. That wasn't exactly my intention. So in the future, I might have to think about how I want to shorten it a bit, or um, maybe if I just should have like a separate thing, or maybe this is a good length. I don't know. But what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I'll sing this, and then I'll quickly end the video because I'll probably be too embarrassed in some ways to continue. Um, Now, the voice that I'm sort of thinking of, I'm not going to be able to make that voice, but it's kind of like a deeper, not like country voice, but maybe country voice. I don't know. I don't know. Um, so let's see. The setting sun every day ends, and the dawn comes round the bend. No rain comes down forever, no bright skies in your eyes. Every day fades tomorrow. The setting sun every day ends. The dawn comes round the bend, and so let it be. And put your hopes into tomorrow. Anyways, something like that. It maybe sounds like it ended a bit early, or that it could have been longer, and maybe it could have. Maybe I'm not fully satisfied with how I ended that, but emotionally, I'm pretty satisfied with how that song ended. So maybe in the future there'll be better songs where I feel more complete either way. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you didn't enjoy the singing, well, at least you have the lyrics and you have what it sounds like. Maybe you can find someone who can really express what I wanted to express. But hopefully I made do. Um, until next time, I apologize for the length. I'll maybe think about cutting it down. But I hope you enjoyed it. You know, that was my daily song, I guess. And, I'll see you next time.